Welcome to this special one-off edition of Fear on Monday Business Tips. This week it's a special because we're on a special day, which is Tuesday the 5th of July, which is actually British IP Day. Intellectual property is a very important aspect of any business these days in a global society, global sale reachability that we now have. So very, very important that you protect your IP. So how do you actually go about that? Well, my tip would be, the first thing and the most important tip, I reckon, is to go to the British Library Business and IP Centre, otherwise known as the BIPC, which is based in St Pancras at the British Library, which of course is a British institution. It's something that I feel you can trust as an entrepreneur, inventor or business person of any description, large or small. Before you go to a specialist lawyer and take proper paid for advice, which ultimately you should do really, I would go and take the advice of the very good staff and straightforward thinking that goes on at the British Library regarding this subject. The British Library has in excess of 57,000 patents registered there. And in Britain, of course, we are very innovative. As you will probably know, in 1989, Tim Berners-Lee invented the internet, and you don't get much bigger than that IP-wise. Although you could say that Coca-Cola, Facebook, Twitter, it rolls off the tongue, these Apple, Microsoft, all these firms have needed to protect their IP. So intellectual property is actually more valuable, in my opinion, in many ways than physical property, bricks and mortar, because it goes so wide. These days you can create a business, it can get onto the internet, and it can become global in minutes. Look at some of the values that have been created by businesses like Facebook and businesses like Twitter, as an example. Twitter is a good example of it. So you will see where this comes from. So if you have a business and you are developing your own special brand of IP, first thing is to get really, really good advice about registering it and make sure that you do register it. So go along to the BIPC, I'm sorry about that, BIPC at the British Library. We always record these tips in an impromptu manner. They aren't recorded in a professional studio, they tend to get recorded wherever I happen to be at that moment in time. Next week, as an example, almost certainly the Monday tip will come from the south of France, because that's where I'm going to be, and at some point in the next week or two they'll come from the next one probably from the US, because I'm probably going to be there. So that's the way it goes. They're all recorded on another piece of equipment that really is a brand and of course needed to protect its IP, which is the good old iPad, but it could equally be done on a tablet or any other make that you wanted of anything, and that's what we record these on. So they're not done professionally, they're done by anyone that sits in our office at the moment that I think, well, we better do it, it's getting late in the day, and that's where these things come from. So protect your IP. This is the 5th of July 2016, very special British Intellectual Property Day. There is a global Intellectual Property Day, but the 5th of July 2016 is the inaugural British Intellectual Property Day. So I hope that has helped some of you with some information. Go along to the BIPC in St Pancras in London and get some free advice on what to do next. Thanks a lot for joining me.